It's a sunny Saturday here in Warner Robins, Georgia, as we continue play the Little League Southeast Regional on the road to Williamsport. Next up, North State Little League out of North Carolina takes on Greenville Little League from South Carolina. And it continues what is going to be a busy day. There you take a look at the teams that have won so far. Tennessee, Georgia, and Florida in the winners bracket. Who will it be joining them? South Carolina or North Carolina? We're about to find out. Welcome inside the booth, everybody. Drew Felios alongside the former big league catcher Mike LaValliere. This has been a great rivalry over the years. North Carolina, South Carolina meeting in round one. South Carolina won this tournament a couple years ago, Mike.
Yeah, with Alex Edmondson leading the way through a no-hitter in the finals. But here you've got the last two teams that are getting on the field. They've actually had to spend one extra night, so we may see a little bit more nerves than you'd used to be.
All right, North Carolina will look to Chase Anderson on the hill today. He'll try and handle a very balanced South Carolina lineup.
Well, Chase Anderson is just an absolute methodical kind of pitcher. Doesn't seem like he gets phased with anything. He always has a plan. He relies on a command and an outstanding curveball.
South Carolina, big sticks, 1 through 9. But, Mike, what do you know about Taylor Rabe, the cleanup guy?
Well, number 4 guy in the lineup, and I tell you, he plays right field. He's got power plus. We've already seen some huge home runs in our previous game. Taylor Rabe has that kind of power. If we see him on the mound, same kind of thing, power arm.
This team in red, the first out of the Greenville Little League system to ever make it here to Warner Robins. They have come in abundance to support South Carolina, taking on North Carolina next.
The flavors, the style, and of course, the nightlife. Only in New York could we throw a party this big. Don't miss out on the 2017 U.S. Open. Get your tickets today.
Get ready. The next Little League season is starting soon, but you can't play unless you're on the team. Now, finding your town's league is just a click away. To register or start a league, go to playlittleleague.org.
Hello, Discover Card.
Hi, can you tell me about these new Social Security alerts I keep hearing about?
Sure, just sign up online. Then we'll alert you if we find your Social Security number on any one of thousands of risky websites.
Wow, that's cool. How much is it?
Oh, it's free if you have a Discover Card.
I like free.
Yeah, we just want you to be in the know.
Oh, hey, sushi. Oh, I smell it.
You're making me...
Yeah, being in the know is a good thing.
Know if your Social Security number is found on risky sites. Free from Discover.
This is Axe Body Spray. Use it to stay fresh all day. And this is Axe Dry Spray. Use it to stay dry for 48 hours. Why are you touching your armpit?
I was just checking to see if it was dry.
Don't. That's weird. Smell great and stay dry with Axe.
Perfect day for baseball in Warner Robins. North Carolina about to take on South Carolina. This the final game in round one, a matchup that should have taken place late last night, but with the weather postponement, here we are, 1 o'clock today, starting things off. Jackson Turpin gets the ball today for South Carolina.
And the big right-hander is a 3-pitch pitcher. He's got a good live fastball. He may touch 70 miles per hour if he's juiced up, but he lives right around that 65, 67 mile an hour range. Good curveball, good changeup. Whole key, again, is getting that ball down and staying ahead of the hitters.
This North Carolina lineup, very strong, especially 1 through 3. Manager Brian Field says this is where they have the most pop, of course, with Mateus, Hardy, and Barrett. Also, Ashton Byers, the cleanup guy, tough to deal with. Chase Anderson will be hitting 5th, followed by Greenway, Fields, Jackson, and Cash Daniels Moyer at the bottom of the order. So let's get ready for baseball. Brian Fields, the manager of North Carolina, assistant coaches Mike Vaughn and Jake Allen. Very enthusiastic crowd in the seats here in Warner Robins at Little League Southeast Park. And we are set to go as Mateus digs in. He takes ball 1. Matt Mateus, 6'1", one of the tallest players we have in this tournament. And he watches strike 1.
There's a good fastball, got a little tail on it. It's going into the right hand of hitters. Looks like it's got a little bit of sink.
Late swing on this one, hit to the second baseman. Trey Sanders takes care of it. And that's the first out of the inning. South Carolina's defense, solid across the board. Sanders playing second base. Russ Shepard at first. The third baseman's William Dennis. Jaden Priest is the shortstop. And in the outfield, Caleb DeWitt, Lathan Sellers, Taylor Ray, and Griffin Pickard behind the plate. So you got Jackson Turpin on the hill, Mike, and it doesn't look like, even though, of course, we know he can throw hard, he's also not afraid to take a little bit off it. He's got a nice-looking changeup out there.
Yeah, that changeup and curveball, that's what he's going to need to do. There's a lot of power in this North Carolina lineup. He's going to have to throw the ball inside with his fastball so they don't get extended, and go ahead and mix in those off-speed pitches to keep him off balance.
Carson Hardy fouls this one away. Is that something that young players can always try and do better, switch speeds? Because when you're young, you always want to try and blow it by guys.
Well, it's, some guys are just 100% max effort with every pitch. It doesn't have to be. As you get older, you learn how to pitch a little bit more. But I can tell you this, if I've got an 80-mile-an-hour fastball at this age, I'm going to throw it every pitch.
Carson Hardy, a leader for North Carolina up at bat. Get a look at Jackson Turpin. Hardy digs in. Hardy's got some power, and he swings away at it. Hit to the shortstop. Jaden Priest up throwing. Quick 2 outs. South Carolina's defense looking good here early.
Yeah, nicely done. Watching the South Carolina team take infield, they were very, very efficient in the infield. Looked like they had good range, good gloves. All their throws were right at their intended targets. Very impressive infield to watch.
Thomas Barrett now for North Carolina. Barrett, one of the toughest outs for this mean green machine. Very smooth swing he has got. And he can spray it to all parts of the ballpark. So far, Jackson Turpin really popping that mitt.
You know what I really like about it is the location. Again, good velocity, but it's got a little sinking tail to it, what makes it very, very difficult once that ball changes planes.
This one put in play, right back to the pitcher. Turpin will take care of it. 10 pitches and about as good an opening inning that South Carolina could ask for. They'll come to bat when we return to Warner Robins.
Release the Black Raven.
This isn't real.
Then send a group text.
Managing an unruly team? Bad fantasy. Managing your league from anywhere? Good fantasy. Start your league at ESPN.com/goodfantasy.
From the first pitch to the final swing, we are a team. The most valuable player doesn't always wear a uniform. Everyone has a position. Everyone makes a difference. And nothing brings communities together like Little League.
Hello, Discover Card.
Hi, can you tell me about these new Social Security alerts I keep hearing about?
Sure. Just sign up online. Then we'll alert you if we find your Social Security number on any one of thousands of risky websites.
Wow, that's cool. How much is it?
Oh, it's free if you have a Discover Card.
I like free.
Yeah, we just want you to be in the know.
Oh, hey, sushi. Oh, I smell it.
You're making me...
Yeah, being in the know is a good thing.
Know if your Social Security number is found on risky sites. Free from Discover.
South Carolina coming up to bat. Bottom of the first inning just underway as North Carolina battles South Carolina as Chase Anderson takes the hill for North Carolina.
Well, Chase Anderson, fastball, middle 60s, good curveball, good changeup. If he needs a punch out, a lot of times he relies on that curveball, but we might only see him for maybe a couple innings. Talking early with Brian Fields, maybe 35 pitch limit today for him.
Oh, let's take a look at this South Carolina lineup. Caleb DeWitt will lead things off. Jaden Priest hits second, followed by Turpin and Rabe, the cleanup guy. Sellers, Dennis, Shepard, Sanders, and Pickard round out the order. Swung on for strike one. Caleb DeWitt, one of the youngest players on this South Carolina roster. Guy who routinely gets on base. Now this Greenville Little League team that at the beginning of the year probably did not expect to be here in Warner Robins. That's because Northwood Little League so good year after year. That was the program that produced Alex Edmondson and made that great run to Williamsport a couple of seasons ago. But this Greenville team earned their stripes and took care of Northwood and then marched on as this one's put in play. And the center fielder comes on to make a grab. Drew Fields, a diving catch for the first out.
Well, nice job all around. Caleb DeWitt shortened up his stroke, put it in play. Great jump on this ball by Drew Fields, and one of the toughest plays for a center fielder is that ball right at him. Not sure how it's hit, but he certainly judged that one perfectly. Leaving his feet, diving, outstanding.
First real true web gem that we have seen over the last 2 days. Now it's Jaden Priest's turn. Priest puts this one in play. Mateus will come up and field it. And a quick 2 outs. Defenses on both sides very efficient here early on. If you can get off to a great start as a pitcher in terms of pitch count, Mike, man, that really sets the tone for the rest of the game, doesn't it? We take a look at the North Carolina defense. Daniels, Moy, Fields, and Greenway in the outfield. Byers, Hardy, Mateus, and Thomas Barrett over at first with Bryce Jackson behind the plate.
Yeah, you're so right about that, Drew. When we've seen it so far in our previous 3 games, pitch counts getting up, teams having to use multiple pitchers. At that point, as a manager, now you really have to get the gears going. You've got to find out, geez, how am I going to use these guys? Am I going to need them tomorrow? Can I keep them out there a little bit longer or maybe use them in 2 more days? A lot of strategy.
So 10 pitches for South Carolina. How about 8 for North Carolina? Chase Anderson off and running for North Carolina. Drew Fields with a heck of a stab at center field.
Start your league at ESPN.com/GoodFantasy.
From the first pitch to the final swing, we are a team. The most valuable player doesn't always wear a uniform. Everyone has a position. Everyone makes a difference. And nothing brings communities together like Little League.
You're a leafy love ballad. You don't belong in no salad. Ladies, this is your time to shine.
I was made in the shadows of greatness, shaped by the hands of legacy, forged in the fires of racing. I've been challenged, tested, and proven. Whether it's on that track or off, the truth is, what you're made of is what you're made to do.
Well, take a look at the regional pool as we begin the march towards Williamsport. Southeast region made up of 8 states, as far south as Florida, as far north as Virginia. Teams represented: Goodlettsville, Tennessee, back here again. Logan, West Virginia. Greenville making their first appearance. Peachtree City National representing in Warner Robins this year, not American like we're used to seeing over the past few. As Ashton Byers will start the second inning for North Carolina. No base runners thus far for either team.
Drew, I think that's our first consecutive or first whole inning of 1-2-3, 1-2-3. It seems like, you know, these guys, pitchers, have learned a little bit for something. We've seen a lot of leadoff batters on that have led to some long innings and some elevated pitch counts. Evidently, someone went to school. I like it.
1-1 now to Ashton Byers. Ashton Byers, Mike, one of those guys that really struggled throughout the tournament to get here to Warner Robins, but just exploded in the state title game. And at 4'8", coaching staff calls him Mighty Mouse. See if he can get a hold of one here. Big swing there for strike 2, 2-2.
Well, one of the great things about baseball is it doesn't matter if you're 6'8" or 5'8" or happen to be 4'8". A lot of it is technique. A lot of it is balance. It's all about bat speed, hand strength. All those things allow you to compete against bigger guys. It's not like basketball. It's not like football. You know, here in baseball, you know, size, okay, whether you're on the mound or if you're playing anywhere, it really doesn't make that much difference. And that's probably one of the reasons why all 5'7" of me got the chance to get to the big leagues.
Good point. Had a pretty nice career, too, I might add. Full count to Ashton Byers. Byers watches a strike. That had some silly movement on it. Jackson Turpin, he is feeling it right now on the hill for South Carolina.
Well, the previous pitch was on the outside corner. He's looking for it on the outside corner. This one stays inside. Byers knew it. Our own home plate umpire, Dominic Wright, knew it.
Chase Anderson's turn. Pitcher against pitcher here. North Carolina team defined by their brotherhood. This team is as close a tightly knit group as you're going to find here this year. Tons of different personalities. Coaches say you've got a little bit of everything on this team, Mike. You got guys who like to joke around. You got guys who are quiet. Guys who are a little more serious. Good mix of personalities, and that's what it takes to win championships, doesn't it?
It sure does. Chemistry is a big part of it. I like to think, you know, those teams that win a lot, they have a lot better chemistry. You know, also with this North Carolina team, and you know, injuries are part of baseball, and but they're missing 2 of their very better players. One of them with a wrist injury. 17 home runs that they're missing. Another one with one of their top pitchers.
Another strikeout rung up by Jackson Turpin. That's his second guy from North Carolina he has rung up.
There we go. In that same instance, that catcher was on the outside corner, that fastball tailing back in. Nice job by Griffin Pickard. Tough pitch to catch, did it nicely.
Brings up Cameron Greenway now. Greenway, most improved player on this North Carolina roster. Watches one very close on the inside part of the plate. In fact, Greenway was a kid that at age 9 did not even make the higher level of Little League Baseball. Continued to try out, practice, got better. Here he is in the starting lineup for North Carolina and Warner Robins. .23rd pitch for Jackson Turpin. Very efficient here early on. Behind here, 3-1.
And that was the breaking ball, took a little bit off of it.
Greenway watches this one, and the first base runner of the game is aboard for North Carolina here with 2 outs.
I'm a little curious there, 2-1 count. Common thinking there is go right after him. There's 2 outs, nobody on base. They chose to throw a breaking ball. It's a little bit different kind of theory. I like the idea of, what's working is working, stay with it, and make the other team adjust to you.
Now Drew Fields shows bunt, pulls back, and a called strike. Fields is the defensive specialist in green here today. We already saw him make a great play in center field.
That was interesting on his profile. Favorite team, the Seattle Sounders.
Soccer.
We got a soccer fan, and just not a soccer fan that's where it's close. Seattle, you can't find a further place away from North Carolina.
0-2 now to Drew Fields. Fields hangs in there. Well, we saw 4 home runs in our last game. Slowly, as we continue play here in round 1, we've seen the home run totals in our game sort of pick up. Not as much power as we thought yesterday through 2 games, but West Virginia, they were swinging some mean sticks in our last game. They hit 3 out against that Florida team. Strike 3. So Jackson Turpin able to keep North Carolina off the scoreboard through 1.5. Still no score here in Warner Robins.
Release the Black Raven.
This isn't real.
Then send a group text.
Managing an unruly team? Bad fantasy. Managing your league from anywhere? Good fantasy. Start your league at ESPN.com/goodfantasy.
Introducing Little League University, an essential online tool to prepare coaches, umpires, parents, and everyone involved with Little League baseball and softball for a winning experience on and off the field. Register for free at littleleagueu.org.
This is Axe Body Spray. Use it to stay fresh all day. And this is Axe Dry Spray. Use it to stay dry for 48 hours. Why are you touching your armpit?
I was just checking to see if it was dry.
Don't. That's weird. Smell great and stay dry with Axe.
I was made in the shadows of greatness, shaped by the hands of legacy, forged in the fires of racing. I've been challenged, tested, and proven. Whether it's on that track or off, the truth is, what you're made of is what you're made to do.
Catch all the excitement of the Little League World Series, including scores, stats, highlights, and much more. Go to LLBWS.org or follow along social media with hashtag LLWS. Sharon hit us up on Twitter. Is North Carolina and South Carolina still looking to get on the scoreboard? Drew Felios along with Mike LaValliere. Got to say, though, got to tell our fans, especially your fans, only nice tweets get replies, right?
Well, if you have to get salty with us, so be it. Just beware of your responses.
Bottom of the second inning. South Carolina 4-5-6. Taylor Ray leads it off, followed by Lathan Sellers and William Dennis.
Really enjoying this so far, Drew. Chase Anderson and Jackson Turpin. I mean, just no nonsense. They're just getting on the mound. They're filling the plate up full of strikes. They're going right after them. This is fun to watch. This is good, aggressive pitching without overthrowing the baseball.
Taylor Rabe's got some power. They set him up outside and get the corner for strike 3. So executed perfectly, Chase Anderson and his catcher, Bryce Jackson.
Well, this is all about hitting the catcher. Catcher's outside a little bit. That ball, umpires got to have a wide outside strike zone, but you've got to go tell the rest of your teammates. Say, hey, look, this guy's calling that pitch outside. You know, we can't be looking at it. If it's out there, we got to go ahead and offer it. And that's where, you know, as a hitter, at least you know it.
Lathan Sellers, swing and a miss for strike 2. Sellers, guy that's new to baseball for South Carolina. Chase Anderson in the zone right now. Sellers hangs in. Ball was put in play.
Actually, that went off of Bryce Jackson's helmet. Almost looked like a perfect bunt.
And timeout called. Take a look at the paint underneath the eyes of Chase Anderson. A bright day here in Middle Georgia. The war paint is on. Popped up now. Thomas Barrett in foul territory makes the grab, and there's 2 away. So Chase Anderson only 15 pitches, and he's gotten 5 South Carolina outs. That's only 3 pitches per batter.
That's what we call efficiency, and they say going into it, his coaches were thinking right around 35 pitches, no more than that. At this rate, he's going to get 3-4 innings in. That would be a bonus.
Here's William Dennis. Dennis hits it to the shortstop. Carson Hardy up throwing. And another 1-2-3 inning for South Carolina. So we've played 2. Still scoreless. North Carolina, South Carolina on the road to Williamsport.
The flavors, the style, and of course, the nightlife. Only in New York could we throw a party this big. Don't miss out on the 2017 U.S. Open. Get your tickets today.
Remember, your first throw, your first try, your first team. It all starts with T-Ball. Little League T-Ball. Find your league now at playlittleleague.org.
I was made in the shadows of greatness, shaped by the hands of legacy, forged in the fires of racing. I've been challenged, tested, and proven. Whether it's on that track or off, the truth is, what you're made of is what you're made to do.
Big dreams begin in Little League Baseball. Just ask Anthony Rizzo out of Parkland Little League, now member of the Chicago Cubs. First baseman for the defending world champions, Anthony Rizzo. And, you know, is it coincidence? Mike LaValliere seems like a lot of these examples we've been hearing from and looking at Chicago Cubs, partly because David Harris, our producer, huge Cubs fan. What do you think?
They're trying to take over the world, Drew. Cubs are trying to take over.
I think it's really cool as you get a look at Bryce Jackson coming up for North Carolina. 8-9-1 here in the third. But this year at the Little League World Series, you got the Pirates and the Cardinals actually going to square off in Williamsport, Mike, and they're going to spend some time at the Little League World Series with the kids. Got several players on both of those teams that are Little League World Series alums as well. So little added bonus for teams making it to Williamsport this year. Jackson Turpin delivers this one, and it just misses on the outside part of the plate.
Yeah, you're right, Drew, and that's something that it's great for all kinds of baseball, not only for the young kids. You know, the big leaguers now, you give a chance to, you know, really make some kids' days, makes their weeks, the whole experience.
This is shot to right field, right at Taylor Rabe, who was playing in a great spot for the first down. Yeah, the first time it'll be the Major League Baseball Little League Classic in Williamsport. Get some autographs, get a chance to watch the big leaguers get a chance to watch the little guys as well. It is going to be a spectacle this year in Williamsport.
And I know from coaching the Pirates the last 4 years in spring training, they've got some great gentlemen on that team that I'm sure these kids are going to learn an awful lot from. These guys are absolutely great ambassadors of the game, guys like Andrew McCutcheon. And I couldn't even imagine as a little leaguer being able to meet some of these guys. What a tremendous thrill.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. Cash Daniels Moy now steps in for North Carolina in the 9-hole. Cash is a jack of all trades for this North Carolina team. Does a little bit of everything. Main thing, he's got tremendous speed. If he can get on, turn over the lineup. Big swing there for strike two. 1-2 now.
A good off-speed pitch. Both of these pitchers, I can't say enough. Just pitching ahead, being strike one. If you're strike one, that increases your chance of getting the hitter out tremendously.
Cash swings away, fouls this one back.
Of course, the game is, you know, a lot of it in Major League Baseball is run by numbers, and it's just amazing to see the numbers. If a pitcher starts off the count with strike one, how much success versus going 1-0 on that hitter.
Big swing, and this one's into left field for a base hit. So Cash comes through for the visitors, North Carolina. And now the top of the order coming up with big Matthew Mateus.
Waited all the way to the third inning to get our first base hit, so hats off so far to the pitching and defense.
Cash, a fan favorite with this North Carolina crowd. Mateus watches a strike. Jackson Turpin's been in control so far for South Carolina. Both defenses and pitching dominating up to this point. One pitch on the way. This one's high. Griffin Pickard behind the plate for South Carolina, keeping a good eye on Cash Daniels Moy at first base.
We get a little game within the game. Those two kind of getting after it. Pickard, the catcher, making sure that Daniels Moy doesn't get too far off of that base.
Two and one now. Check swing. And this one going to be fouled back. Now we're going to be 2-2.
Now they're really crowding him with that fastball, and that's when you look at a big, tall hitter like Mateus. He's got long arms. You want to try to crowd him as much as you can so he doesn't get extended. Not sure what that's about. The home plate umpire is checking in with the score.
Dominic Wright behind the plate here today. Jeffrey Miller at first, Michael Grossman at second, Jason Sally at third, and we've got a timeout. Good matchup here in a key at-bat. Jackson Turpin dealing to Matthew Mateus. Mateus watches another ball, be a full count. 43rd pitch coming up for Jackson Turpin. Hit hard into right field, base hit. Making the turn is Mateus. He'll look ahead. They'll wave the runner, Moy at third. He is in to score, and North Carolina is on the board.
That was perhaps one of the hardest hit balls that we've had of the tournament. This ball just scalded past Russ Shepard at first base. Really no chance to make the play on it. We'll take a look at this, and Mateus, again, just crushes this ball. Nice job, Cash Daniels Moy. Good turns, picking up his coaches. Scores with no play at the plate whatsoever.
Cash Daniels Moy started that rally, and I mentioned he is a fan favorite. Remember Hurricane Matthew last year flooded the homes of so many in the North Carolina area? Well, Cash Daniels Moy, his home was flooded as well. His team came together, and the Greenville baseball area came together to create a tournament. Greenville Baseball Gives. Mike, they raised $20,000 in 3 weeks to help fund some of the relief. And Cash Daniels Moy, he got to stay at Carson Hardy's house during that tough time. Just a great example of how North Carolina baseball community came together, and they love Cash Daniels Moy and his family, and could not say enough about the goodwill of these young men and these coaches putting that tournament together. Carson Hardy now, and the 2-hole for North Carolina takes the strike.
Yeah, so many good things from youth sports. The goodwill, the camaraderie, all those things, and that's why I encourage it so much. Somehow, some way, get out there, find a sport, find something you love, and go have some fun.
2 balls, 2 strikes now. That's what sports does, brings people together, creates lifelong memories. This a tournament that all of these young men will never forget. 2-2. Hardy, a bouncer, and a tough ball to handle. Everybody's safe, and it's 2-0.
Well, the proverbial swinging bunt, they call it. Carson Hardy gets this ball right off the very end of the bat. Griffin Pickard got out after it. Absolutely no play anywhere. A little unlucky for the South Carolina team. We'll take a look at this. You couldn't have placed it any better. No chance at either runner.
That ball just died as soon as it came off the bat of Hardy. And North Carolina with Daniels, Moy, Mateus, and now Hardy on top 2-0. First bit of adversity South Carolina has had to deal with here this afternoon.
Really, when you look at it, North Carolina has 3 hits. Only one of them hit on the button. The other 2, Daniels Moy off the end of the bat, just a little bleeder into left field, and that swinging bunt. So it's not like Jackson Turpin is giving up some hard hits. He's still pitching extremely well.
Now Thomas Barrett's turn. Barrett grounded out his last time up. Third pitch this inning coming up for Jackson Turpin. And a strike. It's also got a little bit warm throughout the ballpark here today. A lot more sun than what we had yesterday for sure. Fans are out. South Carolina fans hoping to get their team back to the dugout here in the third. A strike on the outside part of the plate. That is a part that our home plate umpire, Dominic Wright, has shown. See that outside pitch, if it looks good, you better be swinging. 2-2 now to Thomas Barrett. This one gets away through the legs of Pickard. And our runner at first base, Hardy, advances to second. No, this guy behind the plate, Griffin Pickard, he makes the all-spanky team. Those gritty-gutty catchers got the look on their face like, and they are grinding out there. It's the guys, Mike, you love to cover.
Yeah, the young man is doing a good job so far. That one got behind him, but earlier in this inning, he made a couple of really nice blocks.
Hit to the shortstop. Jordan Priest took a step, hesitated a little bit, and it goes into left field. Now they'll throw home. The cutoff man there. Runners on second and third. So North Carolina keeps it going. Another well-hit ball. And what happened here, Mike?
Well, Jaden Priest looked like he was in pretty good shape, and now he started and then he stopped. What ended up happening is if once you commit to going after the ball, you try to charge it and pick your own hop. What ended up happening, he started and stopped. If he would have continued on, he would have got the big hop. Instead, he got a little bit of a short hop. It bounced off to the side and really handcuffed him. My whole idea whenever I'm teaching in the infield is the higher the hop, the more you come get it. Because if it's hopping high, that means it's not hit extremely hard. It's that low warm burner, that's the one that's usually scalded.
That brings up JoJo Byrne. North Carolina with a 2-spot on the board, looking for more. Byrne squares around, wanted to bunt. Ball goes back by Pickard, and it winds up being another run for North Carolina as Carson Hardy slides in.
And a lot of things happening around home plate. You have the batter that turns around, squares to bunt. A lot of times as a catcher, and folks don't know this unless you're a catcher, when they put that bat out there, there are times whenever it actually blocks the path of the ball and you can't see the ball. Whether that happened, I don't know. But here's, you got a fastball, you got it's tailing into the hitter. The hitter squared around to bunt. You don't know if it's going to hit the bat. You don't know if it's going to hit the hitter. That's one of the tougher plays as a catcher.
2-0 the count to Byrne. Still wants to bunt it. Puts it in a good spot. They only have one play at first. So the tag is made, but job is done as Barrett comes across the plate. So credit JoJo Byrne. That's the first sacrifice bunt that we have seen through 4 games. Well executed.
Yeah, and this is what you would call a safety squeeze. You really can't use a squeeze play because you can't get the runner in motion. But first baseman Shepard, I don't know if he would have had a play at home plate. He felt that he didn't. Catcher Pickard was looking for it, but again, he didn't get it and got an out. But this has been an inning where in North Carolina's used some small ball and have done a great job of taking advantage of what South Carolina has given them.
Into the shortstop again. Another chance for Jaden Priest. This time he makes good on it. But it's a big inning for North Carolina as they put a 4 spot on the board with 3 hits. Through 2.5, it's 4-0.
Start your league at ESPN.com/GoodFantasy.
Yo! We making our own way!
Many teams have started to change their names.
Check these out.
Too busy making my own wave. I ain't riding no waves. Too busy making my own wave, baby. Surfing on my own wave, baby. Surfing on my own wave. Too busy making my own wave. I ain't riding no wave.
not tired yet?
I was made in the shadows of greatness, shaped by the hands of legacy, forged in the fires of racing. I've been challenged, tested, and proven. Whether it's on that track or off, the truth is, what you're made of is what you're made to do.
8 teams vying in Warner Robins for the chance to punch their ticket to Williamsport, and we've already got several reservations that have already been made. South Korea, Sydney, Australia, Tokyo, Japan, and Italy, among others.
And from my understanding, that Caribbean tournament, the final game, I believe, is Santiago, Dominican Republic against a team from Panama, went 12 or 13 innings before they crowned that champion. What excitement in that game.
Just great stuff. Truly an international event, and we're seeing for the first time the sleds are out, and we're seeing it on that outfield berm. We have not seen that throughout the first few days, but I think the conditions are perfect with the rain we had yesterday, complemented with a little bit of dryness today. Mike, perfect conditions for you to get out there and show us how it's done.
We need more water, Drew. We need more water.
So a 4-0 hole for South Carolina to try and climb out of is Henry Carter. Will be the pinch hitter. Called strike again on the outside corner.
It'll be interesting if Coach Fields decides that he's going to stay with the 35-pitch limit with a 4-0 lead. They were pretty adamant about it yesterday, but when you look at things and you see the chance of getting that first W, that may very well change their minds.
Big swing there, and Carter is down on strikes. Third strikeout, Chase Anderson is rung up. He was the guy you talked about in the open, Mike. You said this is Chase Anderson's game. It's going to be taken out here, but boy, did he ever do his job.
Didn't even get the 35 pitches. He's within that 20-pitch threshold, so they'll be able to bring him back tomorrow. He remains eligible. And take a look, and we'll take a look at these pitch count numbers. And you know, this is part of your coaching nowadays. If you throw less than 20, and we consider 21 pitches less than 20 because he started that last hitter with less than 20. He doesn't have to have any rest. Then you've got 21 to 35, which I thought that they were going to do, which would give him 1 day rest. Anything after that, it depends on how long you go. You've got 36 to 50 pitches, minimum of 2 days rest, 51 to 65, 3 days rest. And, of course, if you're going to pitch the whole game, 66 pitches, then you're going to need a full 4-day rest.
Now, the question is, in any situation like that, when you pull out a hot pitcher, yes, you're trying to save him for tomorrow, but you also want to win today. So if you're North Carolina, you're assuming that you're going to win this game and go into the winner's bracket, correct?
Well, again, this is about Brian Fields, Mike Vaughn, and Jake Allen, and what their feelings are about their pitching. If you feel that you're deep enough that you're going to be able to close this out with your bullpen, keep everybody eligible, that's absolutely fabulous, and that's what you have to commit to. If you're not sure, then I think you're playing with fire. Because obviously, you know, it was Chase Anderson that was just dominant. I mean, dominant for 7 outs. I mean, there was just no doubt about it. You know, no hits, and was just absolutely cruising. And now we'll see, you know, what happens. We've got the reliever in, you know, and just I like to keep my guys in there. And if I give them a day's rest, I give them a day's rest. But I probably would have gone ahead and gone the 35.
Easy call. Well, I say that because we've seen, in past years, pitching changes made because strictly of a pitch count, not because of a guy who's struggling. Another guy comes in, and the opposing offense just turns it around and changes the game. Hindsight's always 20/20. That's what makes this game of Little League baseball so exciting. As Patrick McMaster will now pinch hit for South Carolina.
Change for South Carolina, pinch hitting for number 5, Trey Sanders, and now batting, number 28, Patrick McMaster.
So McMaster, the second pinch hitter of the day. Keep in mind, 1 out here in the bottom of the 3rd. Ball fouled back. Also want to keep in mind, Jacob Carter is now the catcher for North Carolina. He wears number 1. Bryce Jackson has moved to right field.
And we do have to mention it, and you're not going to see it very often. Jacob Calder, a left-handed catcher.
This is hit to right field, and a good play made by Bryce Jackson for the second out. Why is it that we don't see a lot of left-handed catchers?
Well, there's a number of different theories, and probably the most obvious one to me is the throw to third base would be incredibly difficult. And that's really the only reason. Some say is left-handers can't throw the ball straight, which I'm going to have to agree with most of them on that one. There's some say that left-handers are they wear their hats a little crooked, they belong on the mound. But really, for all intents and purposes, I see guys drop the knees down, right-handed or normal catchers throwing the ball to first base as hard as they do when they're standing up. So, to me, I think if there's a left-handed catcher out there, why not go for it? I had one job, one spring training, it was to help Benny DiStefano whenever I was with the Pirates.
Hit to the shortstop, Carson Hardy makes easy work of it. And another 1-2-3 inning for South Carolina offensively. North Carolina up 4-0. We've played 3 in Warner Robins.
Release the Black Raven.
This isn't real.
Then send a group text.
Managing an unruly team? Bad fantasy. Managing your league from anywhere? Good fantasy. Start your league at ESPN.com/goodfantasy.
Hanes wants to end the Smelfie. This thing we've all done doesn't need to be a thing. There's a smart way to stay fresh. Hanes, with Fresh IQ advanced odor protection technology. Bonus packs while supplies last.
North Carolina 4-0 lead over South Carolina here at the Little League Southeast Regional. Drew Felios and Mike LaValliere. North Carolina got 4 runs in the last inning. Not much to cheer about if you're South Carolina up to this point. Your defense started out red hot, but the North Carolina lineup able to get on track, tracking Jackson Turpin in their last go-around. So this is Luke Lambert, first pinch hitter for North Carolina. A 1 ball, 1 strike. Lambert, a big fan of the Washington Nationals. He watches this one high. Is Bryce Harper the best player in the game? Mike, if you had to choose one guy, if you were a GM of a franchise, would he be your guy?
Well, I tell you what, that's a tough call. Yeah, I know that there's another young man in the American League named Mike Trout that I would have a hard time, not picking him. Boy, I tell you, and both of them are tremendous players. I think if you start out with either of them, you've got a pretty good number 3 or number 4 that are in a great outfielder.
This one's hit into right field. A great at-bat for Luke Lambert. Just muscled that one right down the line. And he's got North Carolina off to a good start here in the 4th.
Well, here's a ball that he really kind of fights off. It's up and in. But again, puts it in play. Good things happen when you put it in play. Excellent placement. There we go. Look at him. Oh, a little fall down. Fix the helmet twice. Pretend you're going a second. Just feel good about it, though.
Good job by Lambert. Showed some toughness in that at-bat. And now we're going to have another pinch hitter, Will Casey, going to get a chance to swing a bat for North Carolina. So coach is doing a good job making sure everybody plays on each roster. Mandatory play, a huge part of Little League Baseball.
Well, both of these teams are in the 13 or 14 player category. So all they really need to do, according to the mandatory rules, is make sure that each substitute bats once. Alabama is the only team in this tournament that has 12 players. That coach has to make sure that their 3 substitutes, have to play 6 consecutive outs plus get an at-bat. So again, when you get the pitch counts, you get the mandatory play. This isn't about, just somebody coming out there and saying, hey, I want to do this. You really have to be in tune with the rules.
Pinch runner for North Carolina, Cam Greenway, heads to first base. So he replaces Lambert, who just had that chop to right field, and now Will Casey will have his at-bat. Meanwhile, this will be the 65th pitch for Jackson Turpin. That number really climbed in a hurry after a very efficient first and second inning.
Yeah, that third inning really got the best of the South Carolina defense. Again, they weren't hit around real hard, but a lot of placement. A couple of balls that their defense could have helped them out with. They weren't able to make the plays. And that's how the things add up every time when you have 2 teams that have equal abilities. The small things, giving a team an extra out, walking somebody that had, in an opportune time. Those are the things that normally determine wins and losses.
Greenway now at second base. You see Pickard behind the plate. 3 balls, no strikes. And finally a strike, so 3-1. South Carolina cannot afford North Carolina to score many more runs here. Already on top 4-0. Lay a perfect bunt down. Coming up to get it cleanly is Turpin, and that's the first out.
Excellent job by pinch hitter Will Casey. Number one thing when you're bunting, bunt a strike. You get a ball that he could handle, get the ball down. When you're sacrifice bunting, what you're doing is you're sacrificing your at-bat for the team. Bunt the ball first, run second. And here's the runner thinking that he's going to take a little something extra. Oh, back, back, back. That's when you dive in and say, hey, Ma, look what I got. I got a new dirty uniform. Ma's used to it.
And
or Dad's.
That's going to be it for Jackson Turpin. Turpin's day is done. First pitching change of the day. South Carolina, who is it going to be? We'll find out next.
Release the Black Raven.
This isn't real.
Then send a group text.
Managing an unruly team? Bad fantasy. Managing your league from anywhere? Good fantasy. Start your league at ESPN.com/goodfantasy.
I was made in the shadows of greatness, shaped by the hands of legacy, forged in the fires of racing. I've been challenged, tested, and proven. Whether it's on that track or off, the truth is, what you're made of is what you're made to do.
New pitcher for South Carolina is going to be Russ Shepard. What does he bring to the hill for this big red machine?
Well, Big Rush, good fastball, a little breaking ball. Again, this is a guy that comes out of the bullpen, not one of the number one starters, but he's a good fastball, 65, 67 miles an hour. Throws a fastball and a changeup, and he throws a very good circle change. That's one of the changeups that majority of your major league pitchers are using. It comes in looking like a fastball, thrown properly. It's anywhere between 5 and maybe 7 miles an hour slower than a fastball. Comes in, looks like it, and has just a slight little tail. That's the pitch that, Tom Glavine and some of the finesse left-handers, they had that one perfected.
So first batter that Shepard's going to face will be Bryce Jackson. One out, top of the fourth. North Carolina has a runner at third base. They really want to try and get this run across. Wouldn't be surprised to see Jackson perhaps try and lay down another bunt here. This ball gets by, doesn't go far though, as Pickard is right there on top of it. Taylor Rabe is now at first base. Jackson Turpin, former pitcher, now in right field. Hit hard to third. Great stab by Dennis. And now a pickle. And great base running as Greenway is able to get back. Got to stay on the bag, though. Now they'll try and tempt the throw at second. Good game of chess here. They'll throw home. Pickard has got to throw back to the bag. Back and forth we go. And finally a tag made. North Carolina really trying to bait the defense of South Carolina. Didn't work that time.
I think I counted Cameron Greenway diving back into third base at least twice in that pickle. I'm not exactly sure how they got him, but we'll take a look at this. An outstanding play by William Dennis at third base. They get him down. Now he's back, and not sure the play should have stopped. And here we're going to take a look, and Bryce Jackson decides he's going to second. Now Taylor Greenway is just exhausted. He's right there. He's going, please, someone tag me out. Yeah, just there we go. Youthful enthusiasm, Drew gone wild.
Are you surprised that Greenway, as Pickard digs that one out, are you surprised that Greenway continued to try and bait the defense, because it looked like he could have gotten back easily to third base? He had numerous chances to, but he wanted to almost create the confusion.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly. As a guy that couldn't run very well, I wouldn't even try anything like that. So, the whole thought process has never ever entered my mind. Being a little faster, I guess you get a little more daring.
Here's Cash Daniels Moy. Had that base hit his last time up to start the North Carolina rally. He's down 1 ball, 2 strikes. Russ Shepard on the hill for South Carolina, trying to get his team to the dugout. Hit to the third baseman. Dennis takes care of it. And maybe South Carolina can create a little momentum here. 4 runs to make up. Bottom of the fourth. Here we come.
grandest slam in the world and the greatest city in the world collide. Only in New York. Don't miss out on the event of the summer, the 2017 U.S. Open. Get your tickets today.
This is Axe Body Spray. Use it to stay fresh all day. And this is Axe Dry Spray. Use it to stay dry for 48 hours. Why are you touching your armpit?
I was just checking to see if it was dry.
Don't. That's weird. Smell great and stay dry with Axe.
I was made in the shadows of greatness, shaped by the hands of legacy, forged in the fires of racing. I've been challenged, tested, and proven. Whether it's on that track or off, the truth is, what you're made of is what you're made to do.
And the pitch counts.
4-0 your score. North Carolina shutting out South Carolina right now. And it'll be the third new pitcher of the game for North Carolina. They'll go with number 14, the lefty, Thomas Barrett.
Well, Thomas Barrett is a strike thrower, as says Brian Fields, their manager. Left-hander who throws his fastball right around 64, 65 miles an hour. He's got a curveball. Two-pitch pitcher, but his key, again, that he possesses a nice command of that fastball, stays ahead, and again, fills up that plate.
The entire infield shifts for North Carolina. JoJo Byrne now playing at third base, so he comes off the bench. You've got Greenway, who started this game. Cameron Greenway at short. Cameron Hardy now playing second base. And Matthew Mateus, who started the game at second, now at first. You want to play Little League Baseball, the infield, you better know how to play every single base. Because it's almost like it's rotated in a circle.
And they talk about specialization in sports, just playing one sport. Same thing, if you happen to be in one sport, don't get pigeonholed into one position. I like the fact that you have versatility. I know as you go along in your careers, if you're trying to make a high school team, if you've got a little catching experience, now you've got the ability to be a third catcher. You can play second, you can play short. The more versatility you have, the more reasons you give a coach to keep you.
Thomas Barrett, 4 straight balls. South Carolina trying to get something going. They have not had a lot of base runners in this game thus far. So Caleb DeWitt aboard, and that brings up now number 34, Jaden Priest.
Now batting for South Carolina, number 34, Jaden Priest.
Jaden Priest got a pretty good nickname. Seen some pretty good ones here over the last few days as Caleb DeWitt heads to second. How about this one, Mike? Boogie. Couple pass balls. Thomas Barrett trying to settle in for North Carolina, and over to third base is Caleb DeWitt.
Well, maybe I misspoke, and the problem with Thomas Barrett is maybe he doesn't throw enough strikes. So far, 6 straight balls. They're going to go out there and have a little chat with him. I think they may have even seen enough. Looks like they're going to make a change.
So maybe the shortest outing that we have seen over the past few days. Barrett goes to the dugout. 4-0. North Carolina trying to keep South Carolina off the scoreboard.
the Black Raven?
This isn't real.
Then send a group text.
Managing an unruly team? Bad fantasy. Managing your league from anywhere? Good fantasy. Start your league at ESPN.com/goodfantasy.
20 more years of this job? Yikes. My kids say, go for it, Mom. Be that woman who does what she loves, knows what she wants. Yay, Mom's gonna go for it. Except I don't have a clue where to start.
Hey, we hear you. That's why AARP has resources to help you navigate the job market. We'll connect you with employers that value your experience and provide tips and tools to find work you love.
If you don't think this is right for me when you think AARP, then you don't know ARP. Get to know us at aarp.org/possibilities.
Fourth pitcher of the game for North Carolina. Done the trick thus far. South Carolina has not scored any runs, but now Ashton Byers going to be put in a tough spot with a runner on third base.
Well, Ashton Byers doesn't light up the radar gun. He's a guy that's upper 50s, maybe low 60s, but he does have a good curveball. He does have a good changeup. He can throw any of his pitches at any time in the count. He's got great command. So his job right now, there's nobody out, a man on third base. Don't even worry about that run at third base. Go ahead, get this out, trade it out for a run, stay away from the big inning. So if I'm Ashton Byers, you know what? My job right now is try to get out this hitter in Jaden Priest.
Only 6 pitches for Thomas Barrett.
Now batting for South Carolina, number 34.
So Jaden Priest will have a 2-0 count here. Jaden Priest does have home run power. 2-run shot would just be perfect in this situation for South Carolina. They've been yearning for runs. And a strike delivered to Jaden Priest. Jackson Turpin is up next for South Carolina. Taylor Rabe follows. This is hit into the gap for a base hit. South Carolina's on the board. Priest is standing up to second base, and it's 4-1.
Well, they've only given up 1 run, and here you see Priest smashing that ball in the left center, no chance at all. Easy double, a ball kind of downish. It looked like a real nice swing on it, nice and level swing. And like I said, that was a double right off the bat.
Big swing by Jackson Turpin. 1 ball, 1 strike. I believe, Mike, that was the first hit of the game for South Carolina. Big RBI smash by Jaden Priest. Turpin gets a piece right at the shortstop. Up and throwing to make the play is Greenway, and there's 1 out.
This ball would just absolutely smash Cameron Greenway or Carson Hardy. That ball caught him, I believe. Just an absolute rocket shot. It was nice. He knocked it down, kept his composure, made a nice throw to first base, but that got out there in a hurry.
Yeah, Hardy is at shortstop, so he made that play. Cameron Greenway right now moves to right field. Foul ball. Taylor Rabe at the plate now for South Carolina. This is the guy that we talked about in the open. We have not really been able to see a sample of his power. Could this be his moment? Saw a lot of fans in the stands wearing Taylor Rabe jerseys. Jaden Priest on second base.
Again, Ashton Byers, he really has to spot up that fastball. What he really needs to do is just get that breaking ball down.
15, a popular number in the stands today. This is why. Into right field for a base hit. Right center to be exact as it rolls to the wall. And the rally for South Carolina is on. It's 4-2.
Well, talked about that breaking ball, that off-speed pitch, getting down. That one stayed up, out over the plate. Good job by Rabe driving that ball into right field. You try to pull that ball, a lot of times you're just going to hit a ground ball.
And it looks like we may have another pitching change. North Carolina going through their staff. This will be pitcher number 5. Looks like their fireballer is going to enter the game, Matthew Mateus.
Well, Matthew Mateus, arguably the pitcher that has the fastest velocity on this team. He's throwing in the low 70s. He does throw a curveball, but when it comes down to it, it's all about power. He's going to throw hard, and I would have to think, they were trying to piece this game together to get to him. But unfortunately, I think they're bringing him in an inning or maybe even 2 innings sooner than they expected to.
Again, it goes back to the decision early on in this game. Chase Anderson was cruising along for North Carolina. They decided to let him only pitch 2 innings, did his job. Of course, not questioning the North Carolina staff. They know their staff better than anybody, but you know that if you try and pitch by committee, eventually South Carolina, this lineup is going to find maybe a guy who's not having the best day, and they're going to jump on him and take advantage, and they've done that over the last inning or so.
Yeah, you're right, Drew, and ultimately, the coaches, they have their game plans. They try to do what's best that they think that's going to give their team a shot at winning the ball game, and you kind of live and die with it, with those decisions. And sometimes you're going to make them the right way, and sometimes you're not, as long as the thought process is there. It's just it's a matter of getting out there and getting your kids, give them the best chance to win, and that's really what it's all about. And that's life. There's always tough decisions to make. Some you make right, some you don't.
Now, in a game like this, too, if you're the catcher, if you're Jacob Calder behind the plate, or one particular catcher, you've seen now 5 different pitchers. How tough does that make your job, too, when you keep seeing different guys every single inning?
Well, it's not too bad if you've been catching them throughout the season. And that's one of the tougher things. A lot of these, or majority of these teams, play in a league. And so they play on different teams, so they play against each other. So as a catcher, you might not be catching this guy, but maybe through the districts, maybe through the states, now you've got a little better idea. And you see that last fastball, 73 miles an hour. That's equivalent of a 95-mile-an-hour major league fastball. That's, to put it in perspective, folks, you've got less than a half a second to decide if you're going to swing or not.
And a strikeout, a big one. Matthew Mateus able to halt the rally for South Carolina. There's 2 down. So Mateus trying to limit the damage. The 4th inning. South Carolina has now just 7 outs left to try and make it happen. We're going to have Benton Sutherland pinch hitting off the bench here for South Carolina.
Let's see, number 3, Henry Carter, scurrying down to the bullpen in left field for North Carolina. So it kind of remains to be seen if they're going to keep Mateus in or if they're going to go ahead and roll the dice with somebody else.
Sutherland watches the strike. See quite a fastball right now from Matthew Mateus. 19 different changes in the field for North Carolina. Mateus, 6'1". Big pitch there to quiet the lineup. North Carolina fans loving it. South Carolina does cut the lead in half, however. It's 4-2 at the end of 4.
Start your league at ESPN.com/GoodFantasy.
You just spent a lot of money on the same headphones as everyone else.
What?
But did you check eBay?
Bruh.
Get deals on everything you need to go back to college like nobody else. Fill your cart with color. eBay.
La Quinta presents How to Win at Business. Step 1. Ask the presenter to go back a slide. Well played. You just tossed a mind grenade into your colleague's dulled senses. Look at them. What did I miss? He one-upped me once again. Step 2. Choose La Quinta, and your La Quinta reward points can be redeemed for everyday purchases on the go, so you can win at business. Learn more at LQ.com today.
Hanes wants to end the Smelfie. This thing we've all done doesn't need to be a thing. There's a smart way to stay fresh. Hanes, with Fresh IQ advanced odor protection technology. Bonus packs while supplies last.
Welcome back to the Southeastern Regional headquarters for Little League Baseball. Side of the Southeastern Regional, North Carolina, South Carolina. South Carolina finally able to get on the scoreboard in the bottom of the 4th. Now we'll enter the 5th inning. And leading it off will be Matthew Mateus. Top of the order for the visitors. This ball fouled out of play. Got Russ Shepard on the mound for South Carolina. Shepard, the second pitcher in relief of Jackson Turpin. And tell you what, Russ Shepard has grown about 5 inches just over the past year. Had to go out and get some new clothes, Mike. This is the time when that growth spurt really comes into play.
I'm still waiting for mine, Drew. Mine's going sideways. It's not going tall.
Oh, 2 quickly. And this one just misses.
Well, perhaps a little bit low. Very, very close pitch.
Matthew Mateus, home run power at the plate right now. He's taking some big cuts up there, fouls another one away.
Yeah, good location on that one. That one get in on his hands. He couldn't get extended. Look at Griffin Pickhart behind the plate. He was given a high target. Well, I guess there's the advantage of being 6'1", Drew. A low pitch, that's going to be a strike on most of the players.
Inside, Mateus getting out of the way. Full count coming up. Carson Hardy on deck. Thomas Barrett in the hole for North Carolina. 1, 2, and 3 here in the 5th. And struck him out. Oh, Mateus can't believe it. Good pitch, though, delivered by Russ Shepard.
Well, he took a couple of pitches that were close. That one, evidently to home plate umpire, were just a little bit better. Dominic Wright has punched out guys left and right here today, so that pitch, again, too close to take.
Carson Hardy's turned it back. North Carolina very confident about the top of their order. They feel 1, 2, 3. They're as good as any team here in Warner Robins. Bottom of the order, though, has produced here today. Drew Fields defensively. Also Cash Daniels Moy with a big hit to get a rally started. In the third inning. High and tight. This one misses for ball 2. Russ Shepard working pretty well right now for South Carolina. This one's hit to the first baseman. Taylor Rave just sticks the glove out there, makes a nice stab, and then steps on the bag.
I got to believe Taylor Rave was a little bit fooled when that ball coming off the bat. It looked like he was going to dive for it. It wasn't hit it quite as hard as he thought, but he still had presence of mind, keep his glove down, and stayed right with it, was able to come up with it and easily record that out at first.
Thomas Barrett for North Carolina.
I mean, that's one of the important things as a fielder. You get off balance. Sometimes there's a chance that you're going to panic, that you're not in proper position. Well, it just, it doesn't always have to be pretty. Just get the job done. And that's something that, again, you might feel uncomfortable, but get to the point where, you know what, finish the play. You might bobble it, but if you stay with it, even though you're uncomfortable, you can still record that out.
Barrett has not been on base today. This is a tough play to make, and he'll be safe this time. Jaden Priest backing up. I think made the right decision. Able to get the stab, but just had a tough throw to make.
Well, in order to get that out, I'd have to think that he had one thing, and it's just to come in. Once you end up on that back dirt, you're going to have to run like me to throw him out, and getting down that line real quick was Thomas Barrett. So in a situation there, if you're Priest, again, big bounce, come get it. If you short hop it, you short hop it. Right there, fielding it in short center field, not going to have enough time to get him.
And now a change. The pitching staff for South Carolina will bring in their third pitcher of the day. And this one is going to be number 34. So Jaden Priest will go from shortstop to the mound. He'll be dealing when we come back.
The grandest slam in the world, in the greatest city in the world, collide. Only in New York. Don't miss out on the event of the summer, the 2017 U.S. Open. Get your tickets today.
Donnie, I brought you up here to talk to you about my underwear. That makes sense. The breathable boxer briefs from Fruit of the Loom. They have tiny holes to allow airflow and keep you cool. And tiny holes really make that big of a difference? Thought you might ask me that, so I put a bunch of tiny holes in your parachute. Huh, air really does get through there. Thanks for such a contextual demonstration. But how do I... Buy them online? Yeah, you just click here.
Easy. Breathable boxer briefs from Fruit of the Loom.
North Carolina replacing number 2, JoJo Byrne, and now batting is number 7.
New pitcher is Jaden Priest. He comes over from shortstop. Russ Shepard, who was pitching, heads to short.
Yeah, Jaden Priest throwing in a low to mid 60s, outstanding curveball. That's a strikeout pitch. Also throws a changeup.
JoJo Byrne now up at bat for North Carolina. South Carolina needs to get one more out, then head to the dugout. They've still got 6 outs to work with. This is Ashton Byers. Rather, not JoJo Byrne, Ashton Byers, who has a strikeout today. Swinging it for North Carolina. And a strike. Byers fouls this one back. North Carolina team had a thrilling comeback against East Surrey to win on the road to get here. That was in the state championships. Beat them 8-5, then 11-2. They also had a big moment where during the season just felt like it was their year to make a run to Williamsport in the Little League World Series. Jaden Priest, big pitch there, took something off it and got a swinging Byers. So through 4.5, it's 4-2 South Carolina coming up when we return.
If you love queso, you'll love Wendy's new bacon queso burger, chicken sandwich, and fries. Because everything's better with queso. And you're staring.
Sorry.
Feed your queso obsession for a limited time at Wendy's.
It's so quiet.
Is it too quiet?
It's awful.
Yeah.
Feel at home pretty much wherever you are. T-Mobile is America's best unlimited network.
Morning, it's another pure gray morning. Don't know what the day is holding. And I get up right home and I walk right into the path of a lightning bolt.
Well, it took South Carolina nearly 4 innings, but the bats finally were able to come alive.
Well, Jaden Priest with a double, followed up by Taylor Rabe with another run-scoring double, 2 doubles, and North Carolina says, you know what, that's enough of that. I'm going to bring my big guy in, Matthew Mateus, and he's just throwing some cheddar. This is gas right there, 2 punch-outs. So that's enough of your fun, South Carolina. I'm taking over.
So here's Mateus now as Russ Shepard heads to the dish for South Carolina. Can South Carolina get to Mateus here in the 5th? Seven, 8, and 9 for South Carolina. .6'1" Matthew Mateus. That as talented as a player as you will see playing in the Southeastern Regional. That ball fouled away. Favorite movie, Benchwarmers. Shepard's anything but. 1 and 2. Watches one low. Mateus, the 5th pitcher of the afternoon for North Carolina. Oh, got him that time. Took a little bit off it. And there's 1 out.
Now there's the fastball after showing the equivalent of a Major League 95-mile-an-hour fastball, and he puts a little wrinkle on it. You've already proved that you can hit the outside corner with your fastball. Now you start that breaking ball in the same spot. So difficult as a hitter to lay off of that pitch.
Here's Trey Sanders now. Sanders check swing, fouls it off. Trey Sanders probably the smallest guy on the field for South Carolina, but he is the most fierce competitor on this team. Coach Will Dennis says he is always ahead of the game. Swing and a miss for strike two.
Now that last one, 74 miles an hour. Just a shade under 100. We'll call it 98.
So tough to hit.
Actually, we're gonna dial it down just a little bit from 98 to 96 miles an hour.
Ouch. Sixteenth pitch on the way from Matthew Mateus. Interesting to see if he goes the rest of the way as Trey Sanders strikes out. And there's two down. That's the fourth strikeout. So every batter that Mateus has faced, he has sat down.
Well, one thing that's impressive, obviously the velocity, but here he's throwing to both sides of the plate. He's throwing inside corner, outside corner, able to hit his spots. If you're able to hit your spots with that kind of velocity, it's nearly impossible to hit at this distance.
Tough task for Griffin Pickard. Interesting thing is, North Carolina, they've gone with 5 different pitchers today. Will they continue to throw Mateus into the 6th? Or will they save him? They can stay under 20 pitches here as they have. That's the big decision ahead for North Carolina. We've played 5 into the 6th inning when we come back.
Start your league at ESPN.com/GoodFantasy.
You're the double B in my BBQ. So zesty, I'm obsessed with you. But it's okay, because you're a sandwich.
I was made in the shadows of greatness, shaped by the hands of legacy, forged in the fires of racing. I've been challenged, tested, and proven. Whether it's on that track or off, the truth is, what you're made of is what you're made to do.
Are you discreet, Mr. Donovan? Whatever the fee is, I'll pay it.
The things people in this town demand, unbelievable. That's a $3 billion problem. I'll see what I can do.
Your 19-year-old daughter called the police.
What'd you do?
Your brother and your father were hospitalized.
I told you. I'll take care of it.
Ray Donovan, season premiere Sunday at 9, only on Showtime. Start your free trial.
Welcome back to Warner Robins, Georgia, Florida, West Virginia. 4-run win for the Floridians. North Carolina up by 2 over South Carolina here in the top of the 6th. Still got 2 games remaining. Tennessee battles Georgia in the winner's bracket. Cannot wait for that. There's also Virginia, Alabama later on tonight. Keep in mind, too, looks like the loser of this game possibly is going to have to play 2 games tomorrow.
Well, all the incentive. You obviously want to win your first. You want to stay in the winner's bracket. That's easier on all your pitching. But yeah, nobody wants to, have to play 2 unless you want to go home. So that's, one of the things. If I'm North Carolina, it's a decision that their coaching staff has to make. Are you going to go and you're going to send Mateus out there for inning number 6 and lose him for a day, or you're going to try to finish it out with somebody else?
Well, keep in mind there is action right now in the North Carolina bullpen. So that is going to be very interesting if Matthew Mateus does finish, or Carson Hardy right now is warming up in the bullpen. So a good chance we could see Carson to try and close this thing out for the visitors. So Mateus, also keep in mind, as I'm informed by our producer Dave in the truck, at 19 pitches, he can face one batter. So that one batter, that's huge.
You know what, I see W up there. I see a guy that's punched out 5 guys and faced 5 guys. I'm going to miss him for a day, but I'm going to try to get this W.
Meanwhile, Jaden Priest working for South Carolina. 3rd pitcher of the game for the home team. And a good pitch there. He pulls the string, gets the strikeout. So we're talking about all the North Carolina pitchers, and Jaden's like, hey guys, what about me?
You're right. I mean, this has really been a pretty clean game. The South Carolina team, in the 3rd inning had a little trouble, a miscue, a couple of bad bounces. One ball really hit hard, and it all totaled up to be the 4 runs. Other than that, I tell you what, this has just been an outstanding ball game, and again, a little bad luck so far for South Carolina. But they're not done. They still have 3 outs left, and if it's North Carolina's turn right now, they're wanting to get some insurance runs.
Going to see Luke Lambert now for North Carolina. He'll get his turn at bat. And a strike on the outside part of the plate. Lambert goes by the nickname Stinger. Stings this one into right field. Jackson Turpin takes one step back. Can't glove that one. Looked like the sun may have gotten in the way that time. Hope to see the replay and see what happened.
Well, a couple of different factors right here. Turpin, again, looked like he was okay with it, just didn't squeeze it. One of the things I suggest as an outfielder, get to that spot instead of drifting with the ball. If you can run and get to a spot, now you can set your feet and actually be still. When you're trying to catch the ball on the run, if you're not running really on the balls of your feet, if your heels are hitting, your head's bouncing up and down, which very much makes the ball bounce up and down in your eyes. So, your outfielders out there, just don't cruise with it. Get to the spot, stop, and that'll make things a little bit easier for you.
So pinch runner going to be Cameron Greenway for North Carolina. And Will Casey now will get his chance at bat. So South Carolina possibly giving North Carolina an extra out here to work with. 1 out in the top of the 6th. South Carolina already has 2 runs to try and make up in the bottom half of the inning, which could be their final at bat.
Number 3, Will Casey.
Casey swinging away. This is hit to left field, and it is going to drop. So runners on 1st and 2nd. North Carolina not settling on 4 runs. They want more here in the 6th.
Well, you couldn't have placed it out in left field any better. Will Casey, the ball just over shortstop Shepard's head, right in front of DeWitt in left field. That's what I call smart hitting, Drew. Smart hit.
Going to bring up Bryce Jackson now. Jackson hits it hard. This one is into right center field. Will they wave the runner home? No, they won't. Hold him at 3rd. So we're going to have the bases loaded now with 1 out.
Don't hold the ball. Let's get it in quick.
Well, this ball just hitting a good spot, not real hard. Excellent effort by Trey Sanders trying to get after this ball here. We'll take a look at it. And dives, tries to keep it in play. Runner at third base. We've seen Cameron Greenway there. He picks up his coach, stays right there. Good arm in right field is Jackson Turpin, so they held him up.
Sanders made a great try at that one. Looked like he may have come down on his wrist as his glove hit the ground, tried to make that diving stab. So good effort. And now South Carolina's defense put to the test here with Cash Daniels Boy coming up to bat.
Number 4, Cash Daniels Boy.
So in this situation, force at home plate, correct?
Absolutely. You got to choke off this run. If you're the infield, you either got to play on the grass, and yeah, here they come. Everybody's in on the grass. They've got to be able to stop North Carolina right here. We'll take a look at the defense and see where they are. You see everybody in on the grass. Ball hit to the infield. They're coming straight home with it.
Jaden Priest trying to get South Carolina out of this jam. Daniels Moy watches this one. It's a strike. So 1-1 is the count. 7 hits by this North Carolina offense. They have loaded the bases here in the 6th. Nearly hit Cash that time. Backed away for ball 2. Strike, 2-2.
Yeah, good fastball right there. Inside quarter, good location. Most effective pitch whenever you have a batter up there trying to hit the ball to the outfield is you crowd him so he can't get that barrel head out.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Big pitch coming from Jaden Priest. Fought off by Cash Daniels Moy. This North Carolina team, year after year, they can't wait until All-Star season when they can get the band back together and make a run to here. Warner Robins and eventually Williamsport up 4-2 here in a big situation. 2 balls, 2 strikes. This ball put in play. Sanders comes up, force it home. He's safe, and so is everybody else.
Well, it's a play as an infielder. It wasn't hit quite hard enough. You've got to charge it just like you were back on the grass. Here we'll take a look. Jam shot. First baseman comes over. Really no chance. Outstanding jump off the third base by Cameron Greenway. That's a big run in this ball game.
So now timeout, as we'll have a substitution here. And you also saw on that play, Mike, with the infield playing in, the first baseman Taylor Rabe kind of coming over in Trey Sanders' neighborhood, and I think it kind of threw Sanders off just a little bit.
Well, that's one of the things is you can't blame a young player for trying to be aggressive, and that's what Taylor Rabe was going to try to backhand that, cut it off, get to it a little bit quicker, end up not being able to get to it, and I think that inhibited that the second baseman being able to charge that ball and get him out at home plate.
Taylor Rabe will be the new pitcher. Seems like Rabe has done everything here this afternoon.
Taylor
South Carolina.
Taylor Rabe, good fastball. He's in the upper 60s. He throws 2 change-ups. He throws a circle change, and he also throws a split finger change. Coach Will Dennis kind of remarking that, it's kind of which one works that day. Usually won't have them both, but usually one of them he'll go to.
Shepard now moves to first base. Jaden Priest moves back to his starting position, shortstop. 5-2 the score. North Carolina over South Carolina. And the top of the 6th inning. Very well played game here in Warner Robins. 7 combined runs. In our last game, Florida, West Virginia, we saw 18 combined runs. So 4 home runs in that last game. No home runs here in this one.
Yeah, again, it's been a very well-pitched game. North Carolina has been able to put some balls in play, take advantage. Again, they found some holes. They've hit some balls, swinging bunts, balls that have gone off the handles and haven't quite gotten to the fielders in time. But again, that's opportunistic on offense. Putting in play gives you a chance.
Matthew Mateus may be the most dangerous hitter in the North Carolina lineup now with the bases loaded. Don't want to take any chances against him. And still only 1 out. This is hit off the foot of Mateus. It'll be a foul ball. Our home plate umpire, Dominic Wright, right on top of it.
Yeah, it's see exactly what happened. It was a big swing, and yeah, it went right off of Mateus's front foot, his lead foot, as he took a stride to get to the ball, hit off the top of it, and made it a dead ball.
2 strikes to count. And this one hit him. So another run going to come in for North Carolina.
Well, take one for the team. This split finger or changeup that was a little inside ended up just kind of turning into it. You know, not really getting out of the way, but then again, did make an effort to elude the ball, and that he was awarded first base for that.
Now Carson Hardy comes up to the plate. And he'll swing at this one and foul it away. So, a couple insurance runs for North Carolina. Does it make it easier to make the decision with Matthew Mateus in the next inning, Mike?
No, it doesn't. Hey, like I said, I want to win the game. Now, you get 3 or 4 more runs, okay, I'm going to consider it. But right now, whenever you have a 4-run lead, I'm always leery about the grand slam.
Here comes another, make it a 5-run lead, and it could increase to 6. North Carolina running around the bases here in the 6th. It's 8-2.
Well, as soon as I say that, now with a 6-run lead, I'm probably going to have to, if I'm confident in my guy, I'm going to go ahead and do it. Good job here, keep it in front of him, but now they start throwing the ball around a little bit. Trying to do a little bit too much. Rabe couldn't hold on. And there you go, ball gets blocked, stays in front of him. If it gets by him and hits the backstop, probably bounces back to him and nothing happens.
Foul to the right side. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Carson Hardy.
Yeah, I really feel that South Carolina has really had some really tough luck this game. They have not played that bad.
It's that one pitch, that one play that has just kind of eluded them. Trying to get back to the dugout here. 2-2 the count with 1 out. 8th pitch from Taylor Rabe. And North Carolina, credit what they have done. They have made the pitchers for South Carolina really work, fouling off a lot of balls and really just digging in with 2 strikes. Hardy hits it to the 3rd baseman, William Dennis, over to 1st. So a good job by Carson Hardy, puts it in play, produces another run as Mateus scores, and it's 9-2.
Well, William Dennis makes a nice play. There's no play at home plate. He's down there kind of thinking about, gee, I could have gone home. There's no chance they were going to get Mateus. It's just, again, it's just a little victim of circumstance. Ball hitting a spot where they really didn't have a chance at home.
The pitch count now at 9. So South Carolina will strategically take out Mr. Rabe, make sure that he is available tomorrow. And we'll step aside once again here at the Little League Southeast Regional. North Carolina leading by 7.
Release the Black Raven.
This isn't real.
Then send a group text.
Managing an unruly team? Bad fantasy. Managing your league from anywhere? Good fantasy. Start your league at ESPN.com/goodfantasy.
Final pitch count for Taylor Rabe.
Henry Carter, the new pitcher for South Carolina, all together. He is the 10th different pitcher that we've seen in this game.
Well, it's what we used to call who's pitching today? Well, Johnny Allstaff is pitching. We've got Henry Carter, the 5th guy, crafty little lefty. He's throwing in the 50 miles an hour changeup and the dreaded knuckleball.
And he'll face Thomas Barrett. Interesting, Taylor Rabe was pulled after just 9 pitches and just 1 out left to get before getting South Carolina to the dugout for their final at bat. And you'd have to think, Mike, maybe it's the lefty on lefty thing that we talked about earlier. Is Carter a lefty delivering to Barrett a lefty?
Well, you got to think too is, these coaches, they want to get all their kids, available in there to play. You look at young Carter. Is he going to be a big part of the program here with South Carolina coming back? I don't know. But, we might see him later in the week. Now he gets, at least one batter out and gets a little experience out on the big hill.
This one is drilled. And Barrett is able to straighten that one out. Our lift in right field may be in trouble. Henry Carter against Thomas Barrett. This one low in the dirt. 3 balls, 2 strikes. And struck him out. Henry Carter does his job. Now South Carolina bats will try and ignite. Got a long way to go. Final at-bat coming up.
We took things up with our new signature sriracha sandwich. It's topped with crispy onions, fresh baby spinach, and kale. Then we took it up some more with an exclusive sriracha mac sauce. Now at McDonald's for a limited time.
I was made in the shadows of greatness, shaped by the hands of legacy, forged in the fires of racing. I've been challenged, tested, and proven. Whether it's on that track or off, the truth is, what you're made of is what you're made to do.
Award-winning interface. Award-winning design. Award-winning engine. The Volvo XC90, the most awarded luxury SUV of the century.
This August, visit your local Volvo dealer to receive summer savings of up to $4,500.
Now the Berms got some action out there as Georgia relaxing, getting ready to take on Tennessee in our next contest coming up at about 4 o'clock. On the mound for North Carolina, the difference in this game has been Matthew Mateus. He has silenced the bats of South Carolina. His pitch count right now is what we are going to be watching because he's under 20 entering this inning, but he'll be over 20 after facing this leadoff South Carolina batter.
So I'm thinking this is probably his last hitter. This way he'll be eligible for tomorrow. We're thinking that pitcher number 11 is going to be coming in to finish this game out and try to get those last 2 outs.
Caleb DeWitt leading it off for South Carolina. Watch this one outside here.
Yeah, that one he tried to put a little bit too much on. Equivalent of a 98-mile-an-hour fastball.
South Carolina notching 2 runs in the 4th inning, but that has been it. Meanwhile, North Carolina with 2 big innings. The 3rd, they got 4. Top of the 6th, they registered 5. There's a strike and a strikeout. So Mateus rings up Caleb DeWitt. And now let's see if the move is made. And yes, here it comes. And tell you what, Matthew Mateus is going to get a huge round of applause here.
Well, 2 full innings, 6 batters faced, 6 punch-outs. And with him coming in, and again, South Carolina was getting back in the game. They had just scored 2 runs. They had runners on base. He goes out, finishes the inning, punches out 2, ends up with 4 more after that. So you want to talk about stopper? You know, your stopper, your closer, whatever. You know, it doesn't always have to be in the bottom half of the last inning. You know, this right here, we saw him stop this game right in the 4th.
New pitcher is going to be Carson Hardy. Hardy had lots of time to warm up in the last inning. And North Carolina was putting those 5 runs on the board.
And one thing about Carson Hardy is, you know, they are not missing too much velocity-wise. He doesn't have quite the arm that Mateus does, but again, he runs it up there in the upper 60s. He can touch 70 miles an hour. He throws a curveball. So again, they're bringing in some heat here to finish this one.
North Carolina using Chase Anderson, Cameron Greenway, Ashton Byers, Thomas Barrett, Matthew Mateus, and now here's Carson Hardy. Mateus will move over to shortstop. And South Carolina will send Jaden Priest rather to the dish. And right down the pipes for strike 1. North Carolina trying to secure a date with Florida in the winner's bracket.
Yeah, that's a good breaking ball after that nice fastball to start that off with.
Quickly down 0-2, trying to stay alive now. As Jaden Priest going to get over to first, so he did swing and miss at that one. It got away from the catcher. And Priest will be standing on first base now.
Well, the little catcher couldn't quite catch up with that. It was a high fastball. Again, good life on that And your pitcher, Hardy, really, he comes out at about 3/4. And they're taking a look at the umpire right here. But, yeah, his delivery is about 3/4. He's not straight over the top. And there are times when that guy's at 3/4, you get a little extra movement if you hold that thing 2 seams. And I think that's probably what ended up happening to Jacob Calder.
Jackson Turpin now comes up to bat for South Carolina. Turpin's 0 for 2 today. And a big strike on the outside part of the plate. Well, the home plate umpire's been calling that all day long. Dominic Wright. And Turpin didn't expect it that time.
Well, Hardy comes in. You see Calder outside, hits the glove. From this angle, looked like it might have hit the outside corner. But again, he's been consistent with it all game long. He's been calling it.
South Carolina now down to their final out. Taylor Rape takes one high.
There's the breaking ball from Carson Hardy.
Big swing and a miss. South Carolina cannot win this game. They'll have a game with West Virginia. That game will be tomorrow. 1-2. And there's a strike, and that'll do it. So the pitching staff for North Carolina comes through. It was Matthew Mateus and Carson Hardy taking care of the South Carolina order. Key moment of the game, 4th inning. Mateus shut down South Carolina after the bats were starting to get hot, and it's a 9-2 victory.
Yeah, in North Carolina, we got to hats off to their coaches, Brian Fields. They used a bunch of pitchers. They're all going to be eligible for tomorrow. So, a good going by the coaching staff, but ultimately, Matthew Mateus came in a key situation. He completely shut down South Carolina. The North Carolina offense was able to throw up a 5 spot in the top of the 6th inning, which really took things out of play. South Carolina played a much better game than this 9-2 finish. I think they had some bad luck. Tomorrow they'll get a chance to go through the losers bracket. I think they'll make a little bit of noise. It's a good, solid team over there. But North Carolina, hey, they got a big win today. They've got their pitching all intact, so we'll see what happens.
North Carolina will take on Florida now in round 2 as we are through the first round of action here at the Little League Southeast Regional Tournament. Next game, 4 o'clock, Tennessee takes on Georgia. Until then, for Mike Spanky Lavollier and our fabulous crew here in Warner Robins, I'm Drew Felios saying so long. We'll see you later on this afternoon.
We took things up with our new signature sriracha sandwich. It's topped with crispy onions, fresh baby spinach, and kale. Then we took it up some more with an exclusive sriracha mac sauce. Now at McDonald's for a limited time.
I was made in the shadows of greatness, shaped by the hands of legacy, forged in the fires of racing. I've been challenged, tested, and proven. Whether it's on that track or off, the truth is, what you're made of is what you're made to do.
During the Made to Move 2017 clearance event, you can do endless online research about the Escalade. Or you can come in and have it all for less than you might imagine. Don't wait. Our 2017 models will be moving fast. You can drive a car or you can drive a Cadillac. Come in now before the end of our Made to Move 2017 clearance event and leave with the perfect Cadillac Escalade for you. Purchase with 0% APR for 72 months.